Shalom, everybody. How y'all doing? Oh, man. My eyes feel blurry already. Welcome back. What up? We out here. We back for the Sabbath reading, man. We missed the Sabbath reading. My boy was sick, so we're gonna try to go ahead and I don't know 2 weeks ago. I'm buggish. We're gonna try to go ahead and see what I didn't check which Sabbath, where did I leave off at? What did I end on? Let me see. I think it's chapter. My eyes is blurry. My eyes is blurry. I think I did on chapter 17, but. Yes. Come unto me to call my sin to remembrance and to slay my son. Yeah, we stopped at chapter 18. So we'll do that. We'll pick back up at chapter 18. Oh, me, oh my. We're going to let the chapters fly. We're going to let it roll. So the Most High can hear us. Oh, shit. No rock with that. Oh, man. Unblock me. We here to read. So we here to read First Kings. We're gonna finish off. We're gonna try to finish off First Kings today. Since I didn't get this Sabbath class, I missed it. I missed the Sabbath. The Sabbath reading. I'm gonna make up. I'm gonna make up for this Sabbath reading and do this Sabbath reading right now. And we're gonna try to finish off First Kings. And then we're gonna come back maybe later on tonight. We might come back later on tonight and pick up in the next episode of reading with Shiloh and get into the book of Patrice O'Neal. Appreciate it. Thank you. Well, the book of First Kings, chapter 18. Boom. Book of First Kings, chapter 18. What's up? Shalom, everybody. How y'all doing? Welcome to the Sabbath reading. Even though it's not the Sabbath, but since I missed the Sabbath reading, we're going to get the Sabbath reading in, man. So, King James Version Bible. No, I do not. I need to. I probably need to. Not really. Aloe vera about the only thing I use in my hair. Water, sunlight. Chapter 18 of First Kings. Elijah and Obadiah meet. And it came to pass after many days that the word of the Lord came to Elijah in the 3rd year, saying, Go show thyself unto Ahab, and I will send rain upon the earth. And Elijah went to show himself unto Ahab, and there was a sore famine in Samaria, And Ahab called Obadiah, which was the governor of his house. Now Obadiah feared the Lord greatly, for it was so, when Jezebel cut off the prophets of the Lord, that Obadiah took 100 prophets and hid them by 50 in a cave, and fed them with bread and water. And Ahab said unto Obadiah, Go into the land, unto all fountains of water, and unto all brooks. Peradventure we may find grass to save the horses and mules alive, that we lose not all the beasts. So they divided the land between them to pass throughout it. Ahab went one way by himself, and Obadiah went another way by himself. And as Obadiah was in the way, behold, Elijah met him, and he knew him, and fell on his face and said, Art thou that my Lord Elijah? And he answered him, I am. Go tell the Lord, behold, Elijah is here. And he said, What have I sinned that thou wouldest deliver thy servant into the hand of Ahab to slay me? As the Lord thy God liveth, there is no nation or kingdom whither my Lord hath not sent to seek thee. And when they said, He is not there, he took an oath on the kingdom and nation that they found thee not. And now thou sayest, Go tell thy Lord, behold, Elijah is here. And it shall come to pass, as soon as I am gone from thee, that the Spirit of the Lord shall carry thee whither I know not. And so when I come and tell Ahab, and he cannot find thee, he shall slay me. But I, thy servant, fear the Lord from my youth. Was it not told my Lord what I did when Jezebel slew the prophets of the Lord? How I hid 100 men of the Lord's prophets by 50 in a cave, and fed them with bread and water. And now thou sayest, Go tell thy Lord, behold, Elijah is here, and he shall slay me. And Elijah said, As the Lord of hosts liveth, behold whom I stand. I will surely show myself unto him today. So Obadiah went to meet Ahab and told him, and Ahab went to meet Elijah on Mount Carmel. And it came to pass, when Ahab saw Elijah, and Ahab said unto him, Art thou he that troubleth Israel? And he answered, I have not troubled Israel, but thou and thy father's house, in that ye have forsaken the commandments of the Lord, and thou hast followed Baalim. Now therefore send and gather to me all Israel unto Mount Carmel, and the prophets of Baal 450, and the prophets of the groves 400, which eat at Jezebel's table. And Ahab sent unto all the children of Israel, and gathered the prophets together into Mount Carmel. And Elijah came unto all the people and said, How long halt ye between two opinions? If the Lord be God, follow him. But if Baal, then follow him. And the people answered him not a word. Then said Elijah unto the people, I, even I only, remain a prophet of the Lord. But Baal's prophets are 450 men. Let them therefore give us 2 bullocks, and let them choose 1 bullock for themselves, and cut it in pieces, and lay it on wood, and put no fire under. And I will dress the other bullock, and lay it on wood, and put no fire under. And call ye. Yes, sir. Okay. Put you another one on. Come here, man. Let me look at you.
I was coming into the...
Let me look at you, my boy.
You're not coming to give you one.
Oh, you can come get it, my boy. I love you, man.
Wait.
Take a deep breath from me. Deep breaths. That's not a deep breath. That's not a deep one. Deeper. Deeper. That's a good. That sounds good. Do another one. All right. How you feel?
Good.
You feel all right?
Yes, sir.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, come back while I'm reading. Hey, come back again. Put another move on. What time it is? I don't know what time it is. Yes, you got time. Y'all can put another one on.
Okay.
Y'all not gonna finish it, but y'all can start it. You can start it, but and come back in a little while. Come back in a little while so I can look at you again. I want to lay eyes on you.
Okay.
All right, Roger that. Thank you, sir. All right. Sorry. The book of 1 Kings, chapter 18, verse 24. And call ye on the name of your God, and I will call on the name of the Lord, and the God that answereth thy fire, let him, and the Lord that answereth by fire, let him be God. And all the people answered and said, It is well spoken. And Elijah said unto the prophets of Baal, Choose you one bullock from yourselves, and dress it first, for ye are many, and call on the name of your gods, but put no fire under. And they took the bullock which was given them, and they dressed it, and called on the name of Baal from morning even until night, saying, O Baal, hear us. But there was no voice, and nor any of them answered, and they gaped upon the altar which was made. They leaped, upon the altar which was made. My eyes are blurry. Like it's trying to stop me from reading. But I'm going to read. And it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them and said, Cry aloud, for he is a God. Either he is talking, or he is pursuing, or he is sleepeth and must be awakened. And they cried aloud and cut themselves after their manner with knives and lancets, till the blood gushed out upon them. Now that sounds like that, I want to say it's a Muslim custom, an Islamic custom, where they'll take some swords and they'll just be slapping themselves, bam, in the back. That's what that sounds like. And it came to pass when midday was past, and they prophesied until the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, that there was neither voice nor any to answer, nor any that regarded. And Elijah said unto all the people, Come near unto me. And all the people came near unto him. And he repaired the altar of the Lord that was broken down. And Elijah took 12 stones according to the number of the 12 sons of Jacob, unto whom the word of the Lord came, saying, Israel shall be thy name. And with the stones he built an altar in the name of the Lord, and he made a trench about the altar, as great as would contain 2 measures of seed. And he put the wood in order, and cut the bullock in pieces, and laid him on the wood, and said, Fill 4 barrels with water, and pour it on the burnt sacrifice, and on the wood. And he said, Do it the second time. And they did it the second time. And he said, Do it the third time. And they did it the third time. And the water ran round about the altar, and he filled the trench also with water. And it came to pass at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice that Elijah the prophet came near and said, Lord God of Abraham, Isaac, and of Israel, let it be known this day that thou art God in Israel, and that I am thy servant, and that I have done all these things at thy word. Hear me, O Lord. Hear me, that this people may know that thou art the Lord God, and that thou hast turned their heart back again. Then the fire of the Lord fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice and the wood and the stones and the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench. And when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces, and they said, The Lord, he is the God. The Lord, he is the God. And Elijah said unto them, Take the prophets of Baal let not one of them escape. And they took them, and Elijah brought them down, and Elijah brought them down and took to the brook of Kishon and slew them there. Bust their head, Elijah. That's right. 1, 2. Elijah busting them up. Elijah jugging them boys. And he slew them. And they took them, and Elijah brought them down to the brook of Kishon, and slew them there. And Elijah said unto Ahab, Get thee up, eat and drink, for there is a sound of abundance of rain. And so Ahab went up to eat and to drink, and Elijah went up to the top of Carmel, and he cast himself down upon the earth and put his face between his knees, and said to his servant, Go up now, look toward the sea. And he went up and looked and said, There is nothing. And he said, Go again 7 times. And it came to pass at the 7th time, then he said, Behold, there ariseth a little cloud out of the sea like a man's hand. And he said, Go up, say unto Ahab, Prepare thy chariot and get thee down that the rain stop thee not. And it came to pass in the meanwhile that the heaven was black with clouds and wind, and there was a great rain. And Ahab rode and went to Jezebel. And the hand of the Lord was on Elijah, and he girded up his loins and ran before Ahab to the entrance of Jezebel, and he girded up his loins. That's a big difference. And he girded up his loins and ran before Ahab to the entrance of Jezebel. Pooh, Elijah with the flash. Hey, I'm reading the Bible. Chapter 19, Elijah flees from Jezebel. Chapter 19. And Ahab told Jezebel all that Elijah had done, and withal how he had slain all the prophets with the sword. Get down. My bad. Then Jezebel sent a messenger unto Elijah, saying, So let the gods do to me, and more also, if I make not thy life as the life of one of them by tomorrow about this time. Hide, Elijah. You ain't got to hide. Fuck that. You ain't got to hide. Stand strong. She can't do you nothing. And when he saw that, he arose and went for his life. Damn. And came to Beersheba, which belongeth to Judah, and left his servant there. But he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness, and came and sat down under the juniper tree. And he requested for himself that he might die, and said, It is enough. Now, O Lord, take away my life, for I am not better than my fathers. And as he lay and slept under a juniper tree, behold, then an angel touched him and said unto him, Arise and eat. And he looked, and behold, there was a cake baked on the coals, and the cruse of water at his head. And he did eat and drink, and laid him down again. And the angel of the Lord came again the 2nd time, and touched him, and said, Arise and eat. Behold, the journey is too great for thee. And he arose, and did eat and drink, and went in the strength of that meat 40 days and 40 nights unto Horeb, the mount of God. Elijah in the mountain cave. And he came thither unto a cave, and lodged there. And behold, the word of the Lord came to him. And he said unto him, What doest thou here, Elijah? And he said, I have been very jealous of the Lord God of hosts, For the children of Israel have forsaken thy covenant, thrown down thine altars, and slain thy prophets with the sword. And I, even I only am left, and they seek my life to take it away. And he said, Go forth and stand upon the mount before the Lord. And behold, the Lord passed by, and a great and strong wind rent the mountains, and brake in pieces in the rocks before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind, and after the wind, an earthquake. But the Lord was not in the earthquake, and after the earthquake, a fire. But the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire, a still small voice. And it was so, when Elijah heard it, that he wrapped his face in his mantle and went out and stood in the entering of the cave. And behold, there came a voice unto him and said, What doest thou here, Elijah? And he said, I have been very jealous for the Lord God of hosts, because the children of Israel have forsaken thy covenant, thrown down thy altars, and slain thy prophets with the sword. And I, even I only, am left, and they seek my life to take it away. And the Lord said unto him, Go, return on thy way to the wilderness of Damascus, and when thou comest, anoint Hazael to be king over Syria. And Jehu, the son of Nimshi, shalt thou anoint to be king over Israel. And Elijah, the son of Shaphat, of Abel Mohalah, shalt thou anoint to be prophet in thy room. And it shall come to pass that him that escapeth the sword of Hazael shall Jehu slay, and him that escapeth the sword of Jehu, I said Elisha, shall Elisha slay. Yet I have left me 7,000 in Israel, all the knees which have not bowed unto Baal, and every mouth which have not kissed him. Elijah and Elisha. So he departed thence and found Elisha, the son of Shaphat, who was plowing with 12 yoke of oxen before him. And he with the 12th. And Elijah passed by him and cast his mantle upon him. And he left the oxen and ran after Elijah and said, Let me, I pray thee, kiss my father and my mother, and then I will follow thee. And he said unto him, Go back again, for what have I done to thee? And he returned back from him and took the yoke of oxen and slew them and boiled their flesh with the instruments of the oxen and gave unto the people, and they did eat. And then he arose and went after Elijah and ministered unto him. Chapter 12. Ahab defeats Ben-Hadad. Chapter 20, my bad. Chapter 20. Ahab defeats Ben-Hadad. Thank you. Let me get back. Oh, go ahead. Breathe for me. Breathe. Deep breath. Like some water. Deep breath again. I didn't hear nothing that time. A little bit on the downslope. My bad. I heard a little bit on the downslope. Yeah, yes, a little wheezing on the downslope.
Wheezing on the downslope.
Yes, sir. When you were exhaling, when you were breathing out, I could hear a little bit when you were breathing out.
A little bit breathing out?
A little bit. So we'll give you another treatment before you go to bed. All right, as soon as I finish reading. All right, but thank you for coming. Hey, appreciate that. Thank you for coming so I can look at you. I want to make sure I have eyes on you. I want to make sure I can see you, so I can make sure you're okay. All right.
Okay.
So come back again That was fast. You don't have to wait. You don't have to make it so fast. But if you want to, just come back again whenever you feel like it. Come back again and just let me look at you and let me see and make sure that you are right. Roger that.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's what's up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Chapter 20. Ahab defeats Ben-Hadad. And Ben-Hadad, the king of Syria, gathered all his hosts together. And there were 32 kings with him, and horses and chariots. And he went up and besieged Samaria and warred against it. And he sent messengers to Ahab, king of Israel, into the city, and said unto him, Thus saith Ben-Hadad, Thy silver and thy gold is mine, thy wives also and thy children, even the goodliest are mine. Taking all your shit. You remember that silver you had, Mama? Oh, I got that. Your children, your wives, I got all your goodly shit. I got it. It's mine. Woo! Even the goodliest are mine. And the king of Israel answered and said, O Lord, O king, my Lord, O king, according to thy saying, I am thine in all that I have. And the messengers came again and said, Thus speaketh Ben-Hadad, saying, Although I have sent unto thee, saying, Thou shalt deliver me thine silver, and thy gold, and thy wives, and thy children, yet I will send my servants unto thee tomorrow, about this time, and they shall search thine house, and the houses of thy servants, and it shall be, that whatsoever is pleasant in thine eyes, they shall put in their hand, and take it away. Ooh, dusty foots. I like this. I like that. Take that. He don't need this. This too good for you. And all the elders, my bad. Verse 7. Then the king of Israel called all the elders of the land and said, Mark, I pray you, and see how this man seeketh the mischief. For he sent unto me for my wives, and for my children, and for my silver, and for my gold, and I denied him not. And all the elders and all the people said unto him, Hearken not unto him, nor consent. Wherefore he said unto the messengers of Ben-Hadad, Tell my lord the king all that thou didst send for to thy servant at the first I will do, but this thing I may not do. And the messengers departed, and brought him word again. And Ben-Hadad sent unto him and said, And gods do so unto me, and more also, if the dust of Samaria shall suffice for handfuls for all the people that follow me. And the king of Israel answered and said, Tell him, let not him that girdeth in his harness boast himself as he that putteth it off. And it came to pass, when Ben-Hadad heard this message, as he was drinking, he and the kings in the pavilions, that he said unto the servants, Set yourselves in array. And they set themselves in array against the city. And behold, there came a prophet unto Ahab, king of Israel, saying, Thus saith the Lord, Hast thou seen all this great multitude? Behold, I will deliver it into thine hand this day, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord. And Ahab said, By whom? And he said, Thus said the Lord, even by the young men of the princes of the provinces. Then he said, Who shall order the battle? And he said, Thou. You, nigga, you. Thou. Then he numbered the young men of the princes of the provinces, and they were 232. And after them he numbered all the people, even all the children of Israel, being 7,000. And they went out at noon. But Ben-Hadad was drinking himself drunk in the pavilions, he and the kings, the 32 kings that helped him. And the men, the young men of the princes of the provinces, went out first. And Ben-Hadad sent out, and they told him, saying, there are men come out of Samaria. And he said, whether they be come out of for peace, take them alive, or whether they be come out for war, take them alive. So these young men of the princes of the provinces came out of the city, and the army which followed them. And they slew every one his man, and the Syrians fled, and Israel pursued them. And Ben-Hadad and the king of Syria escaped on a horse with the horsemen. And the king of Israel went out and smote the horses and chariots, and slew the Syrians with a great slaughter. And the prophet came to the king of Israel, and said unto him, go, strengthen thyself, and mark, and see what thou doest. For at the return of the year, the king of Syria will come up against me. And the servant of the king of Syria said unto him, their gods are gods of the hills. Therefore, they were stronger than we. But let us fight against them in the plain, and surely we shall be stronger than they. And do this thing, take the kings away, every man out of his place, and put captains in their rooms, and number thee an army like the army that thou hast lost, horses for horse, and chariot for chariot. And we will fight against him in the plain, and surely we shall be stronger than they. And he hearkened unto their voice, and did so. And it came to pass at the return of the year that Ben-Hadad numbered the Syrians, and went up to Aphek, and to fight against Israel. And the children of Israel were numbered, and were all present, and were against them. And the children of Israel pitched before them like two little flock of kids. But the Syrians filled the country. And there came a man of God, and spake unto the king of Israel, and said, thus saith the Lord, because the Syrians have said, the Lord is God of the hills, but he is not God of the valleys. Therefore will I deliver all this great multitude into thine hand, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. And they pitched one over against the other 7 days. And so it was that in the 7th day the battle was joined, and the children of Israel slew of the Syrians 100,000 footmen in 1 day. Oh, it was busting them boys. Get down. 100,000. Oh, blow the trumpets. For the 100,000, blow it for the 100,000 killed. Oh, it was knocking them down. 100,000. And the children of Israel slew of the Syrians 100,000 footmen in 1 day. But the rest fled to Aphek into the city. And there a wall fell upon 27,000 of the men that were left. And Ben-Hadad fled and came into the city, into an inner chamber. And his servant said unto him, behold now, we have heard that the kings of the houses of Israel are merciful kings. Let us, I pray thee, put sackcloth on our loins and ropes upon our heads, and go out to the kings of Israel. Peradventure, he will save thy life. So they girded sackcloth on their loins, and put ropes on their heads, and came to the kings of Israel, the king, of Israel, and said, Thy servant Ben-Hadad saith, I pray thee, let me live. And he said, Is he yet alive? He is my brother. Now the men did diligently observe whether anything would come from him, and did hastily catch it. And they said, Thy brother Ben-Hadad? Then he said, Go ye, bring him. Then Ben-Hadad came forth to him, and he caused him to come up into the chariot. And Ben-Hadad said unto him, The cities which my father took from thy father I will restore, and thou shalt make streets for thee in Damascus, as my father made in Samaria. Then said Ahab, I will send thee away with this covenant. So he made a covenant with him and sent him away. Ahab, judge. You probably should have killed that ball. Should have killed that ball. Knocked his head off. Ahab judged. And a certain man of the sons of the prophets said unto his neighbor, In the word of the Lord, smite me, I pray thee. And the man refused to smite him. Then said he unto him, Because thou hast not obeyed the voice of the Lord, behold, as soon as thou art departed from me, a lion shall slay thee. And as soon as he was departed from him, a lion found him and slew him. And he found another man and said, Smite me, I pray thee. And the man smote him, so that in smiting he wounded him. So the prophet departed and waited for the king by the way, and disguised himself with ashes upon his face. And the king passed by and cried unto the king. And he said, Thy servant went out into the midst of the battle, and behold, a man turned aside and brought a man unto me, and said, Keep this man. If by any means he be missing, then shall thy life be for his life, or else thou shalt pay a talent of silver. And as thy servant was busy here and there, he was gone. And the king of Israel said unto him, So shall thy judgment be. Thyself has decided it. Thyself has decided it. And he hasted and took the ashes away from his face. And the king of Israel discerned him that he was of the prophets. And he said unto him, Thus saith the Lord, because thou hast let go out of thy hand a man whom I appointed to utter destruction, therefore thy life shall go for his life, and thy people for his people. And the king of Israel went to his house heavy and displeased, and came to Syria. Chapter 21. You good, you look good. I'll take a hug though. You look good. All right, you look good. You look good.
And you feel hot on your neck.
What? My neck feel hot? Oh, I'm hot for the Lord. No,
And his hands feel hot.
my hands feel warm.
Well, only if you touch yourself, you feel cold if you touch yourself.
Okay. Do
And
they
then-
feel hot touching you?
Yes, sir. Your hands feel hot. Feel very hot. But warm, though.
This is on.
Well, why is that supposed to be brown? I thought it was going to be white.
What's that?
I thought it was going to be white.
Oh, no, that's not done.
It was white before.
No. Okay. You gonna stay right here while I finish reading?
Yes, sir.
Okay, take it off your head. Chapter 21. Naboth's vineyard. It came to pass after these things that Naboth the Jezreelite had a vineyard, which was in Jezreel, hard by the palace of Ahab, king of Samaria. And Ahab spake unto Naboth, saying, Give me thy vineyard, that I may have it for a garden of herbs, because it is near unto my house, and I will give thee for it a better vineyard than it. Or, if it seem good to thee, I will give thee the worth of it in money. And Naboth said to Ahab, the Lord forbidded me that I should give the inheritance of my father unto thee. And Ahab came into his house heavy and displeased because of the words which Naboth the Jezreelite had spoken to him. For he had said, I will not give thee the inheritance of my fathers. And he laid him down upon his bed and turned away his face and would eat no bread. But Jezebel, his wife, came to him and said unto him, why is thy spirit so sad that thou eatest no bread? And he said unto her, because I spake unto Naboth the Jezreelite, and said unto him, give me thy vineyard for money, or else, if it please thee, I will give thee another vineyard for it. And he answered, I will not give thee my vineyard. And Jezebel his wife said unto him, Dost thou now govern the kingdom of Israel? Arise and eat bread, and let thine heart be merry. I will give thee the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite. So she wrote letters in Ahab's name and sealed them with his seal, and sent the letters unto the elders and to the nobles that were in his city, dwelling with Naboth. And she wrote in the letters, saying, proclaim a fast, and set Naboth on high among the people. And set two men, sons of Belial before him. You can have it, but you're going to have to go get me another bottle of water, because I'm not drinking behind you, sir.
Okay.
That's the deal?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go grab me another bottle of water. Come back.
Oh, I got it out of this pail.
Mm-hmm. And set two men, sons of Belial, before him, to bear witness against him, saying, thou didst blaspheme God and the king, and then carry him out and stone him, and that he may die. And the men of this city, even the elders and the nobles who were in the inhabitants of the city, did as Jezebel had sent unto them, and as it was written in the letters which she had sent unto them. They proclaimed a fast, and set Naboth on high among the people. And set Naboth among the people. Oh, where was I? There we go. And set two men, sons of Belial, before him, to bear witness against him, saying, thou didst blaspheme God and the king. Thank you very much, sir. Now you can drink all the rest of that water if you want, sir. You can have all that. That's yours. Then they carried him forth out of the city and stoned him with stones that he died. Then they sent to Jezebel, saying, Naboth is stoned and is dead. And it came to pass, when Jezebel heard that Naboth was stoned and was dead, that Jezebel said to Ahab, arise, take possession of the vineyards of Naboth the Jezreelite, which he had refused to give thee for money. For Naboth is not alive, but dead. And it came to pass, when Ahab heard that Naboth was dead, that Ahab arose up to go down to the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite to take possession of it. And the word of the Lord came to Elijah the Tishbite, saying, ooh, about to tell that boy something about what Ahab about to do, what he did to Naboth. Yeah, man, Jezebel, kill that boy. Jezebel's son, I wrote some letters, forged letters in Ahab's name and put his seal on it. Told them boys to lie on the Bath just so he could kill him and take his land. Underhanded, dirty stuff. You don't do dirty stuff like that.
That's what they did.
They did some dirty stuff to Naboth, man. They killed him for his land. They wanted what he had. They coveted his land. Thou shalt not covet. And they coveted. They coveted his land.
Sin?
Yes, sir. That is a sin. To covet. To covet what somebody else has is a sin. Thou shalt not covet. That's one of the 10 commandments. Thou shalt not covet. That's his land. Ahab had plenty of vineyards. He could have dealt with his own vineyards, but he wanted Naboth's vineyard. And Jezebel was a Jezebel already anyway. So she was going to do Jezebel stuff. And she did Jezebel stuff and got Naboth killed. And Jezebel need to be beheaded. All right, let me see. Arise, verse 18. Arise, go down to meet Ahab, king of Israel, which is in Samaria. Behold, he is in the vineyard of Naboth, whither he is gone down to possess it. And thou shalt speak unto him, saying, Thus saith the Lord, Hast thou killed and also taken possession? And thou shalt speak unto him, saying, Thus saith the Lord, In the place where dogs lick the blood of Naboth, shall dogs lick thy blood, even thine. He said, Well, you killed the way when Naboth was killed, there had some dogs that came licked up his blood.
They did?
Yeah, they licking up Naboth's blood. But God said, the dogs gonna lick up your blood too, Ahab, for killing Naboth and taking his land. You want to take my boy Naboth's land?
Stronger? The dogs?
The dogs gonna get his ass. They gonna get him. They gonna get him. He shouldn't have covered. They gonna get Ahab. The dogs, the same way the dogs licked up the blood of Naboth, the dogs gonna lick up the blood of Ahab.
Everybody's blood?
Nope, just them two. Just them two. Just them two for right now. Just them two. And Ahab said to Elijah, Hast thou found me, O mine enemy? And he answered, I have found thee, because thou hast sold thyself to work evil in the sight of the Lord. Behold, I will bring evil upon thee, and will take away the posterity, and will cut off from Ahab him that pisseth against the wall, and him that is shut up and left in Israel, and will make mine house like the house of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, and like the house of Baasha, the son of Ahijah, for the provocation wherefore thou hast provoked me to anger, and made Israel to sin. And of Jezebel also spake the Lord, saying, The dog shall eat Jezebel by the wall of Jezreel. So the dog gonna get her too. Go there, sick her, sick. Get that damn Jezebel. Get up. That's what the dog's gonna get up. Go get her. Some little chihuahua. Get her ass. Get her ass. Get her. Him that dieth of Ahab in the city of dogs shall eat, and him that dieth in the field shall the fowls of the air eat. See, my bad. Him that dieth of Ahab in the city, the dogs shall eat, and him that dieth in the field shall the fowls of the air eat. But there was none like unto Ahab, which did sell himself to work wickedness in the sight of the Lord, whom Jezebel his wife stirred up. And he did very abominable in following idols, according to all things, as did the Amorites, whom the Lord cast out before the children of Israel. And it came to pass, When Ahab heard those words, that he rent his clothes and put sackcloth upon his flesh and fasted, and lay in sackcloth and went softly. And the word of the Lord came to Elijah the Tishbite, saying, Seest thou how Ahab humbleth himself before me? Because he humbleth himself before me, I will not bring the evil in his days, but in his son's days will I bring the evil upon his house. Ooh, he's still gonna get it. He humbled himself, but the Lord said he's still gonna get it. I like that, but he's still gonna get it. Chapter 22 is the last chapter, my life.
Last one, are you done?
Yes, sir. We got this 2 pages.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna finish off this page, and that page. That's what we're doing. Chapter 22.
I wonder how much pages you read. Read. Oh.
How many I read already, or how many did I read today?
How many did you read today, right here?
Okay, let's see. I started here. We're not gonna count that as a page. We're gonna do 1. We're gonna just do it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm right here. About to read 5, 6, 7. I will have read 7 pages today.
7
Yes, sir. 7 pages. That's not a lot. It's not a lot.
7.
Yeah, we're almost an hour in. 7 pages. 7 pages. That's just a little bit. 7. We could give the Most High more than 7, but I'm going to give him 7. 7 is nothing. Think of all the days. How old are you?
5.
You know how many days that is, man? A lot of days. A lot of days. We can add it up. 365 days times 5. Let's add it up. Let's see. He gave you all you need to succeed for all those days. Let's see. 365 times 5. 1,825 days.
Oh, that's a lot.
It's probably more. Well, it's more because you had more days after you turned 5.
More.
Yes. So you had all them days you were allowed to open your eyes. You were allowed to breathe. You were allowed to talk. You could hear. You could think. You could walk. You could feel. You could come hug me. You could say, Daddy, 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 I love you. I miss you. I need you. Can you help me? Can you pick me up, Daddy? All the things you could say. You will have the ability to succeed for 1,825 days. So 7 pages. Reading 7 pages is nothing compared to the days that you've had. Just think how many pages I could have read if I would have read 7 pages every day for 1,825 days. It'd be a lot of pages, man. It'd be a lot of pages, my boy. A lot of pages. But we're going to continue to read these 7. We're going to finish these off today. Well, that's the objective, to finish off 1 Kings. So what must we do?
Read.
And succeed. We have to succeed with the goal. What is the goal?
Goal?
What is the goal? What are we trying to achieve? What are we trying to do?
Succeed.
But how? What is going to make us succeed? Finishing reading finishing reading 1 Kings. That is the objective. We need to read till chapter 22. And we have one more chapter. That's what we are. We almost have. We succeed. And when we finish, we will have succeeded. And we can mark it off. All right, let's go. Let's finish. Let's succeed. Micaiah's prophecy, chapter 22. And they continued 3 years without war between Syria and Israel. And it came to pass in the 3rd year that Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, came down to the king of Israel. And the king of Israel said unto, let me turn the page, unto his servants, know ye that Ramoth in Gilead is ours, and we be still, and take it not out of the hand of the king of Syria. And he said unto Jehoshaphat, wilt thou go with me to battle to Ramoth Gilead? And Jehoshaphat said to the king of Israel, I am as thou art, my people as thou people, my horses as thy horses. And Jehoshaphat said unto the king of Israel, inquire, I pray thee, at the word of the Lord today. Then the king of Israel gathered the prophets together, about 400 men, and said unto them, shall I go against Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall I forbear? And they said, go up, for the Lord shall deliver it into the hand of the king. And Jehoshaphat said, is there not here a prophet of the Lord besides, that we might inquire of him? And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, there is yet one man, Micaiah, the son of Imlah, by whom we may inquire of the Lord. But I hate him, for he doth not prophesy good concerning me, but evil. And Jehoshaphat said, let not the king say so. That boy didn't like Micaiah. No, because Micaiah always was prophesying that he was going to do evil stuff. But that's not Micaiah's fault. Micaiah only prophesied what he saw or what he was told. And he was told that that boy was going to do some evil stuff, and that boy didn't like him. That boy didn't like him. That boy didn't want to tell Jehoshaphat about that boy. Man, they got one man. He up there. He prophesied. He know the Lord. But I don't like that nigga. I almost drank your sick stuff, boy. I don't like that boy. I don't like that boy. That boy don't tell me nothing good. You don't never tell me nothing good. Always tell me bad stuff, man, every time. That's why I don't go ask him nothing no more. I won't talk to him. I don't ask him nothing about nothing. Who is he? He's the nobody. And I'm a somebody, baby. Jehoshaphat. Don't go to him, Jehoshaphat. Don't go to him, Jehoshaphat. Don't do it. Let's see what Jehoshaphat gonna do. Is Jehoshaphat gonna listen to him, or is Jehoshaphat gonna go up to Micaiah and try to inquire of the Lord? I think that Jehoshaphat should go to Micaiah first, since he's the only one that for sure everybody says that he know the Lord. Go to Micaiah. Let's see what he gonna do. Verse 9. Then the king, go be digging for gold by me, boy. Okay, you could just don't dig for no gold up in there. Don't be digging for no gold. Don't be digging for no gold. And then putting your gold digging fingers by my face. Better what? Don't wipe them on me. Gold digger. Shalom. Gold digger. And Jehoshaphat said, verse 7. And Jehoshaphat said, is there not here a prophet of the Lord besides, that I might inquire of him? And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, there is yet one man, Micaiah, the son of Imlah, by whom ye may inquire of the Lord. But I hate him, for he doth not prophesy good concerning me, but evil. And Jehoshaphat said, let not the king say so. Then the king of Israel called an officer and said, hasten hither Micaiah, the son of Imlah. And the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, sat each on his throne, having put on their robes in the void place in the entrance of the gate of Samaria. And all of the prophets prophesied before them. And Zedekiah, the son of Chenaniah.
I wonder what they gave Samaria. So I wonder what they gave Samaria if it's
Samaria?
if it's called that, if it's named.
We're going to see. Shenaniah made him horns of irons, and he said, Thus saith the Lord, with these shalt thou push the Syrians until thou hast consumed them. And all the prophets prophesied so, saying, Go up to Ramoth Gilead and prosper, for the Lord shall deliver it into the king's hand. And the messenger that was gone to call Micaiah spake unto him, saying, Behold now, the words of the prophets declare good unto the king with one mouth. Let thy word, I pray thee, be like the word of one of them, and speak that which is good. And Micaiah said, As the Lord liveth, what the Lord saith unto me, that will I speak. He said, whatever God say, that's what I'm going to say. I don't care what them other boys say. What God say, that's what I'm going to say. And that's what we need to do. No matter what nobody else say, we need to say what the Most High say. That's what's right. What does he say? Does he say to keep the Sabbath, or does he say to not?
Yeah,
so we got to do what he say. Does he say to eat pork, or does he say not?
He says not.
So we got to do what he say. Does he say keep the feast of dedications, or does he say keep Christmas? The feast of what?
Dedication.
That's right. So we gonna do what he say. Does he say keep Passover?
Yes, sir.
So we gonna do what he say. That's right. That's what we gonna do what he say. And like Micaiah say, I'ma say what he say. Whatever God say, that's what I'ma say. I don't want to hear nothing. Don't tell me what to say. I don't care what they say together in one word. What God tell me to say, that's what I'm gonna say. So shut your head. You better wait in this. We're gonna see what God say. What God say. Let thy will be done. Whatever God say, let his will be done. Let's see what he say. And Micaiah said, As the Lord liveth, what the Lord saith unto me, that will I speak. So he came to the king, and the king said unto him, Micaiah, shall we go against Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall we forbear? And he answered him, Go and prosper, for the Lord shall deliver it into the hand of the king. And the king said unto him, How many times shall I adjure thee that thou tell me nothing but that which is true in the name of the Lord? And he said, I saw all Israel scattered upon the hills, as sheep that have not a shepherd. And the Lord said, These have no master. Let them return every man to his home in peace. And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, Did I not tell thee that he would prophesy no good concerning me, but evil? And he said, Hear thou therefore the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne, and all the host of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left. And the Lord said, Who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on this manner, and another said on that manner. And there cameth forth a spirit, and stood before him and said, I will persuade him. Somebody said, I'm going to go. I'm going to tell that boy. I'm going to tell him. You going to tell him? You don't want to tell him? I'm going to tell him. That's all right. I'm going to tell him. Pick me, pick me, pick me. Pick me, oh Lord, pick me. I'm going to tell that boy. Oh, Lord. No, my bad. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to spit on your nose. I was trying to say that spirit. Pick me. Pick me. I'll persuade him. Could you do it? You think you could persuade Ahab?
Yes.
Oh, what you gonna You better get your mind right, boy.
That scared me.
That's what the most I don't even want to be scared. You better scare. You better scare. I hope it scared him to get his mind right. Where was I? Up here.
Right here.
Right here, verse 22. And the Lord said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him, and prevail also. Go forth and do so. Now therefore, behold, the Lord hath put a lying spirit in the mouth of all these thy prophets, and the Lord hath spoken evil concerning thee. But Zedekiah, the son of Chenaniah, went near and smote Micaiah on the cheek and said, well, he slapped it, boy. Which way went the spirit of the Lord from me to speak unto thee? And Micaiah said, behold, thou shalt see in that day, when thou shalt go into an inner chamber to hide thyself. And the king of Israel said, take Micaiah and carry him back unto Ammon, the governor of the city, and to Joash, the king's son, and say, thus saith the king, put this fellow in the prison, and feed him with bread of affliction, and with water of affliction, until I come in peace. And Micaiah said, if thou return at all in peace, the Lord hath not spoken by me. And he said, hearken, O people, every one of you, Ahab's defeat and death. We almost there, man. Ahab about to get killed.
He is.
And Jehoshaphat, the son of Asa, began to reign over Judah. Yes, sir. We're right here. Where my what is this? Bookmark. Where my bookmark? I can't think. And verse 41, Jehoshaphat. My bad. We're not at verse 41. We're not there. We're here. My bad. We're here. This is where I was. I'm way off. I'm sorry. Ahab's defeat and death. Verse 29. So the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, went up to Ramoth Gilead. And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, I will disguise myself and enter into the battle. But put thou on the robes. And the king of Israel disguised himself and went into the battle. But the king of Syria commanded his 32 captains that had rule over the chariots, saying, fight neither with small nor great, save only with the king of Israel. And it came to pass, when the captains of the chariots saw Jehoshaphat, that they said, surely it is the king of Israel. And they turned aside to fight against him, and Jehoshaphat cried out. And it came to pass, when the captains of the chariot perceived that it was not the king of Israel, that they turned back. I can't see. They turned back from pursuing him. And a certain man drew a bow at a venture and smote the king. And smote the king of Israel between the joints of the harness, wherefore he said unto the driver of his chariots, turn thine hand and carry me out of the host, for I am wounded. But hit that boy with an arrow. Help me! Help me, please! Somebody help me! Get me out of here.
I am tired.
All right. I'm almost done. But you ready to go get in the bed?
Yes, sir.
Well, go ahead. Don't let me stop you.
I'm going to let
All right.
water.
Shalom, my boy. I'll be in there in a minute. I'm almost done.
Okay.
And it came to pass when the captains of the chariots perceived that it was not the king of Israel, that they turned back from pursuing him. And a certain man drew a bow at a venture, and smote the king of Israel between his joints of the harness, wherefore he said unto the driver of his chariot, Turn thy hand, and carry me out of the host, for I am wounded. And the battle increased that day. And the king was stayed up in his chariot against the Syrians, and died at even. And the blood ran out of the wound into the midst of the chariot. And there went a proclamation throughout the host about the going down of the sun, saying, Every man to his city, and every man to his own country. So the king died, and was brought to Samaria. And they buried the king in Samaria. Oh, poor king. And one washed the chariot of the pool in the pool of Samaria, and the dogs licked up the blood. And they washed his armor according unto the word of the Lord which he spake. Now the rest of the acts of Ahab, and all that he did, and the ivory house which he made, and all the cities that he built, are they not written in the books of the chronicles of the kings of Israel? So Ahab slept with his fathers, and Ahaziah, his son, reigned in his stead. Jehoshaphat, king of Judah. And Jehoshaphat, the son of Asa, began to reign over Judah in the 4th year of Ahab, king of Israel. Jehoshaphat was 35 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 25 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Azuba, the daughter of Shilhi, And he walked in all the ways of Asa his father. He turned not aside from it, doing that which was right in the eyes of the Lord. Nevertheless, the high places were not taken away. For the people offered and burnt incense yet in the high places. And Jehoshaphat made peace with the king of Israel. Now the rest of the acts of Jehoshaphat and his might that he showed, and he wore, and how he warred, are they not written in the book of the chronicles of the kings of Judah? And the remnant of the Sodomites, which remained in the days of his father Asa, he took out of the land. There was then no king in Edom. A deputy was king. Jehoshaphat made ships of Tarshish to go to Ophir for gold, but they went not, for the ships were broken at Ezion-Geber. Then said Ahaziah, the son of Ahab, unto Jehoshaphat, Let my servants go with thy servants in the ships, but Jehoshaphat would not. And Jehoshaphat slept with his fathers, and was buried with his fathers in the city of David his father. And Jehoram, his son, reigned in his stead. Ahaziah, king of Israel. Ahaziah, the son of Ahab, began to reign over Israel in Samaria, the 17th year of Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, and reigned 2 years over Israel. And he did evil in the sight of the Lord, and walked in the ways of his father, and in the way of his mother, and in the way of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin. And he served Baal and worshiped him and provoked to anger the Lord God of Israel according to all that his father had done. And that finishes off chapter 22. That was 1 Kings. We have finished our 1 Kings. That was the Sabbath reading, even though it's not the Sabbath, just making up the makeup for the Sabbath reading. so that we can be heard in this war. When the battle starts, hear me, O Lord. For I shall be victorious. Anyway, that was the makeup for the Sabbath reading, man. That was a makeup for the Sabbath reading. Let's see what all these people talk about here. Now that I can go look at the actual comments. I appreciate everybody who liked, commented. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Thanks. I wonder what you were laughing at, Miss or Stephen Brumfield. I wonder what you were laughing at. And Miss Olga, what's awesome to see. We're going to come back next time. The next Sabbath reading, we're going to pick up in 2 Kings. 2 Kings. The book of 2 Kings continues the stories of the great prophets Elijah and Elisha. It also tells the history of the northern and southern kingdoms until they were both finally conquered. And in both kingdoms, God's prophets warned the people that God would punish them if they did not repent from their sins. Christians may learn from the books of 1 and 2 Kings, or 1st and 2nd Kings, not to trust the political process for establishing godliness. That was 1. And 2, to look instead to the power of Christ and his Spirit in the struggle for a more righteous social order. And 3, to understand that a deteriorating moral climate can end in nothing but divine punishment. See the introductions to 1 Kings for more information on the books of 1 Kings and 2 Kings. All right. We'll come back next time, and start off with 2 Kings chapter 1. Elijah's prophecy to Ahaziah. Man, that was a good reading. I thought it was a good reading. My eyes was blurry as shit. I really don't like my son being on these videos for real. But I'm glad he popped in. He was the one that was sick, and I need to watch him. I need to see and make sure that he's straight. So I'm glad he was up in here, sitting up in my face. He might just get me sick. Might just catch a case. But it's all gravy, as long as I know he's straight. And all praises to the Most High that he is. But that's what we're going to keep doing, man. Hey, one chapter at a time, man. One page at a time. Line upon line, here a little and there a little, man. That's what they say. Here a little, there a little. We trying to see. We're going to read. We're going to read. We're going to keep reading and keep pushing. Keep reading and see what can we learn and grow from. It's got to be something we can learn and grow from. It's got to be something. What is the moral to the story? What do we have to know? What did they do? What did they didn't do? What are we supposed to do? What we not supposed to do? What do we follow? What do we not follow? It's all there. Open your book and read. Read and see. Read. Won't you read the book for me? Won't you read for me? Won't you read for me? Yeah, man, that was a good read today. Good read today. Long. This was a long one, but I wanted to make sure I finished off chapter 22, especially since we didn't get the Sabbath reading yet. So, yeah, I appreciate everybody who stopped by. I appreciate everybody who liked, comment, subscribed. Tell you people, man, Shalom out here, man. We out here reading shit. Today was the Bible. That's what we're reading today. We read 1 Kings. We finished off 1 Kings, the King James Version Bible. We finished it off. And probably later on at the next session, when we come back for reading with Shiloh, we're going to come back and we're going to start off the book of Patrice O'Neil. The book of Patrice O'Neil. I might come back later on tonight after the children sleep, late at night. We're gonna see. We're gonna see how it go. After he go to sleep, I might come back for another one. And start off the next book, the next sea of pages we're gonna roll through. But until next time, man, catch me on the next Sabbath class, man, or the next Sabbath reading, not class, next Sabbath reading. The next Sabbath reading, we're gonna keep pushing, man. We'll keep reading. We'll keep reading. See, what can we see, man? What can we see, man? What can we see? Can we learn something new? Something we didn't know? Something we already knew. Man, hey, let's build upon it. Build upon it. We have everything that we need to succeed. Yes, indeed. Till next time, man. Shalom, everybody. Shalom, everybody. Once again, like, comment, subscribe, tell your people, man. I'm out here reading stuff, doing stuff. I'm out here. Shalom.